Welcome to Fairview Farm and Guest Ranch, where today is an experience and tomorrow is a gift. I'm Ashley Shedden and this is my husband Josh, and we own and operate Fairview Farm and Guest Ranch in Granville Summit, Pennsylvania. This farm has been in my family for over 75 years. I've lived here almost my entire life. When I was growing up, this farm was mainly all horses. We had a herd of beef cows, but we did not have the dairy anymore. The dairy barn was still there, but it was full of horses. So I grew up loving and enjoying horses. I did the sport of 3-day eventing. So I loved cross-country jumping and dressage and stadium jumping. My parents took me up and down the East Coast with my horse Olivia. And I did that until I was well into my 20s. I had the privilege of meeting Josh when we were in 11th grade. We went to college at Pennsylvania College of Technology, and we both went for opposite things. Nothing that really had to do with farming, but all through high school, I had this dream of having a guest ranch on the East Coast. I went to a western ranch called Wind River East when I was, I believe, 13 years old. And that sparked a dream in me that I would like to have something like that, but here on my family's farm. Everything we did through college and after college sort of led up to this point in our lives.
As Ashley said, I'm Josh, and I grew up on a dairy farm in Canton, Pennsylvania. Probably as most farm kids can relate. If I could have, I would have just stayed on the farm. My mother actually told me that I had to leave the farm for a while and at least go to college. So I went to school. I started in agricultural engineering, but I transferred to be closer to Ashley for horticulture, and I graduated with a landscape maintenance degree and then ran the landscape company for a few years. But as I was growing up, I just loved to be on the farm. I was in the barn almost every day, spent most of my time with my grandfather, running around the farm and loving farm life as most kids do. And then once we got married, formed a small love for horses over the years. And we started to build this together into the guest ranch that Ashley had envisioned since she was little. And we've been slowly building at it for probably the last 10 years now. But most recently, I wanted to start a creamery here in the building that at one point was Ashley's catering business. We've been focused on that for the last year. We have some Jersey cows here on the farm now, just to bring in a little bit of the dairy side of stuff into the horse business.
When we really started to make this dream a reality was really soon after Josh and I had our first child, whose name is Zoe. We have 4 kids now. And we decided that this would be just the best place we could ever imagine to raise kids. Here on the farm, they ride horses, they help milk cows, they help Papa and Grandma in all that they do, and they absolutely love being here. And so that's another reason we just thought now was the time to start turning Fairview Farm into that guest ranch that we always dreamed it would be. And we hope that they can grow up and have a love for this place as much as Josh and I do.
Once we started diving down the road of adding the creamery to the farm and doing the ice cream and the bottled milk and things of that nature, I started digging through some pictures and quizzing my grandfather about information regarding the creamery side of stuff, which I knew that my great-grandfather had worked in a creamery his entire life in Canton, one that had closed years ago. But it was interesting to find out that my great-great-grandfather that originally started the dairy farm bottled milk in the back room of the house. And so we were able to find some old milk bottles and actually some weigh tickets from the leftover milk that he didn't sell on his milk route that actually went to the milk plant. So it was really neat to find the history background once I started deciding that we wanted to go this route and having a love for this side of the industry. My family farm that I grew up on is still operational today in Canton, Pennsylvania. My grandfather, my father, my uncle, and my 2 cousins run and operate the farm where they milk about 400 cows.
People ask us all the time, a creamery, why ice cream? Like why that product? And my answer that I always give them is both Josh's family and my family, the Sheddens and the Harpers, we love ice cream. We have it in our freezers. We eat ice cream when we go out. It's a big deal, even now that we have our own ice cream, to still go out for ice cream. So when we talked about what should we make as a product with this milk that we get from the Jerseys, what should we make? And ice cream was the number one thing that everybody voted on. So now we're just enjoying diving into that new adventure and coming up with different flavors and seeing what people like and taste testing everything. And so ice cream is what we love. Now in the future, we hope to maybe have yogurt and butter and maybe some bottled milk, but for now, ice cream is what really speaks to our hearts.
None of this would be possible without the love and support from Ashley's parents, who have always been there and always been willing to say yes to whatever crazy idea we have. I mean, in the last 10 years, we've put up an indoor riding arena, we've put a couple Airbnb properties for rentals. We've done a lot with the grounds, and obviously we've now put this creamery up. So, and they've always been willing and open to all of the ideas and just want to see Ashley and I succeed in what her original dream was, a guest ranch here on the East Coast.
Where today is an experience and tomorrow is a gift is kind of the saying that we go by around here. So when people come to Fairview Farm, we want them to have a unique experience. We want them to be able to take a trail ride, take a horse lesson, relax down by the pond and take in the sunrise and sunset. We want them to be able to, their kids to be here and learn about farming. We want them to, if they've never experienced milking a cow, to be able to milk a cow for the first time, collect fresh chicken eggs for the first time. So we just want to provide an experience, and we always want to remember that God has given us this all and tomorrow is a gift. So we just live by that motto that each day is an experience, and if we get the next day, it's a gift.